in his philosophical quest, whatever it is that he decides to do as a person. I don't have to pay for it. You know what I mean? If I'm less than interested in what Jay-Z's whole part is in this whole NFL influence, I mean, okay, fine, then that's my thing. Maybe I'm just not interested in it as a whole. And maybe I just won't support Jay-Z from a standpoint of watching the games or anything he's involved in. But do I believe that Jay-Z has never truly let us as a community down, anything that he's been involved in, social activists? I don't think that he's done anything that has made me question, Jay-Z, the entertainer, taking part in social justice platforms. No. Now, Sean Carter as a person, questionable, but I'm not here to question Sean Carter. I know a lot of you have brought up his drug dealings in his early adulthood and his teenage years. I mean, Jay-Z's almost 50. I don't know Sean Carter. You know what I mean? I don't know Sean Carter, and I don't think that, I'm here to question or to buy into anything that Sean Carter has done. What I do know is Jay-Z, the entertainer, and whatever things that he's done in a political, social activist way. I don't think that any of those things have been questionable or make me look at him with the side eye. So, I mean, honestly, I think that we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how this plays out. If what is being alleged comes to be confirmed, that he is going to be, in fact, a co-owner of an NFL team, I'm hoping that makes waves, because I know that Diddy talked about wanting to own an NFL team. I know that in the past, Serena Williams, as well as Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony, have been small percentage owners in the in the Florida Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, excuse me. So, I mean, I think that until we get that kind of seat at the table where we can actually become more than just minority owners, because Jay-Z was a minority owner in the Nets. And here's what I know about what happened in Brooklyn. I know that people that look like him were eventually priced out of the community. I know that small business owners are struggling in that neighborhood to be able to maintain and afford what is access to what that neighborhood currently looks like. Now, I also know that I don't know if this still currently exists, but I do know that there was a rule put in place that the Nets, the building itself, in terms of the workers that work there, a percentage of them would definitely have to come from the community. And so I don't know if that's something that's still in place, but what I do know is that his minority ownership in the Nets did not necessarily net the Brooklyn neighborhood that he came from anything. I think that there's more gentrification than one could even handle that's happening in that community. So I don't know. Listen, I'm not here to say anything, but I'm just saying, if you're woke and you're still trying to be woke, just keep abreast of what's happening over there. And the NFL table. I'm trying to think what else is going on this week, you guys. So are y'all surprised by Liam Hemsworth and Miley Cyrus breaking up? I'm not. And this whole chagrin about her being with women, Miley is conveniently socially and sexually anything. She's a hip hop lover, but then she's against hip hop. She's anything. You know what I mean? When the girls be like, oh girl, that bitch is anything. She's anything. She's anything. Whatever. So, also, first of all, we didn't even talk about the fact that Trina's 9-minute, 10-minute response to Nicki Minaj? Do we even have to get into it? Because I'd prefer not to. Here's the reason why I'd prefer not to. I prefer not to, only from the standpoint of, I mean, Trina's not a shady girl. I didn't expect for her to be really involved in this too much. I didn't expect for this to be like Trina's going to be nasty. You know that Trina's not here for the shit. We all know it. I don't think it's like the thing that I was surprised at was Rick Ross's involvement. First of all, I never even listened to the song enough to know that Rick Ross was that heavily involved in any of this Nicki Minaj bullshit. I really wasn't. So, yeah. I don't know. Can somebody tell me what's going on with Brian McKnight and his sons? What's happening there? Why are his sons, his grown adult sons, saying that he's abandoned them? Is that a thing even? Okay, because I know that there was some beef at some point in time, but I didn't know that it was like child abandonment. Furthermore, Young Miami's car got shot up. Y'all, what's happening in this world? What the fuck is happening right now? Who shot up Young Miami's car, you guys? She's pregnant, no? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Well, if for nothing else, you know what we have? The motivation of Normani. First of all, can we talk about what a gift Normani Corday is? Did y'all feel that she was giving y'all too much Beyonce? I did not. I actually thought that Normani killed it. I thought she looked amazing. I thought the choreo was, bar none, some of the best that I've seen. I thought this was one of the most fun videos that I've seen in a very long time. So I was into it. I was very much into it. You know what's crazy though? The Chrisleys. What's happening with them? Now, everybody knows Chrisley or Chris Chrisley and his family. Y'all know the show with the sassy white guy who is from the South and has his family, but definitely like gives you a vibe. Yeah, him. Well, his estranged daughter was saying that he and his son were like trying to extort her from a sex videotape. What? Yeah. So apparently, and then him and his wife are also wanted for tax evasion. Bitch, the shit is wild out here. The shit is very, very wild. You know what? Can we talk about how petty y'all are? Y'all are petty because y'all are definitely trying to name this Manhattan block that houses the Trump Tower after Barack Obama. Y'all are petty. Y'all are petty for it. Where's the petition though, and where can I sign? Because I'm down with it. I'm down with that level of pettiness. And last but certainly not least, you guys, so all of y'all have been going to these little bootsy parties where all of these shenanigans have been going down. Girls have been swallowing whole pickles and all of these things. And, you know, what is with a little Bootsy with the 2 felony charges of drug possession? Yeah, that's a thing, you guys. Your favorite homeboy, Lil Bootsy, has been brought up on felony charges for drug possession. Now, I don't know what this is going to amount to for Young Boots, but I would surmise that that means that the parties are over. Call me crazy. Am I forgetting anything this week, you guys? Because there was a lot happening, and I felt like we needed to get into it all. Okay? Anything that I'm forgetting. Okay, well, since I'm not forgetting anything, you know what I do want to get into with you guys? Okay, so there I was, minding my business, calmly talking to someone. I would say talking to someone. We talked about this, right? We talked about how I was talking to this young tenderoni. Right, okay. So, I think things, first of all, I'm not a big proponent for long distance relationships. Now, I know it works for some of the girls, and for you girls, I say kudos. I'm a girl who probably needs a little bit more attention than a long distance relationship can bring. And with all due, I don't mean like calling attention. I mean more physical attention. And so that was a red flag that I think that I was unable to get past. But then communication. So when I say communication, I don't mean it just from the standpoint of having a conversation with someone. I definitely mean more of effective communication. And so, unfortunately, I think that that's where I hit a roadblock with this person. Was our communication was less than effective. And instead of, I think, putting boundaries around a lot of things that I wasn't cool with, I would just complain about them. And, this person would just say, hey, I'm going to, do this and do that. Basically acknowledging that there was a hiccup from his standpoint with communication and that he would get better. So let me just say this. I have never been the one to exercise boundaries just because. And by that, I mean, I normally wait until shit has gone super fucked up before I'm like, oh, well, I'd like to put up a boundary about this. Like, I normally wait until it's too long. I've never really had the luxury of deciding and enacting boundaries. And I definitely thought that when I did, what it was going to look like was like, I would say, this doesn't work for me. The other person would say, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that I was crossing a boundary with you. I would like to be better. And then I would say, yeah, no worries, cool. And then we would skip off into the land and everything would be fine. No one told me that boundaries was going to look like I was going to set up my boundary gate and then be cursed out because I didn't like the way someone was treating me, and I, in effect, put up a boundary about it, and this person would then kind of hop the fence of my boundary, so to speak, and say, and curse me out, and basically tell me that my boundary is some bullshit. So, that is, in effect, what happened. So, let me just say this about boundaries. They are often inconvenient for everyone. Especially because I'm a super empath, I am someone who will always be just beyond the level of empathetic that I need to be for everyone. I'll always worry about how even my boundary will cause some sort of inconvenience in the world for the people that I care about or whatever the case is. So for that reason alone, me choosing boundaries at this moment and enacting them without there being some sort of devastating, some manufactured drama or something was like a big, or like, that was a milestone for me. My therapist would probably be really happy for me because I didn't necessarily wait till it was convenient for anybody. I just did it. And I think that the worst part for me was being comfortable with the fact that knowing that I would put up, I think one of the things for me in terms of boundaries is that I always feared that if I put up a boundary, that would mean someone would withhold their affection from me. You know what I mean? Like, if I said that I didn't like something and I didn't want it done,